In this world, no matter what mistakes you make, there's one thing you should never do: dirty the clothes of this handsome gentleman. Because not only is he obsessed with cleanliness, he's also more than willing to kill you for it. He's basically what you'd get if John Wick and a bottle of bleach had a baby. Unfortunately, a gang of idiots dared to mess with him, poking at his weakness. And in the blink of an eye, that elegant, well-dressed gentleman turned into a cold-blooded killer, sending them all straight to the afterlife. It's like watching a GQ model go full Mortal Kombat. He struck with perfect precision, no wasted movements, and when the chaos settled, he was still standing, looking flawless, as if he'd just stepped out of a fashion ad. Honestly, if murder was an Olympic sport, he'd get a gold, without breaking a sweat. So who is this man that makes the world tremble? Let's find out. Cut to a warehouse. A man in a suit is tied to a chair, guarded by 3 thugs. 2 of them step outside to chat in the rain, while the 2 inside are already knocked out, still smoking a cigarette when they were taken down with a wrench to the head. Talk about a smoke break gone wrong. By the time their boss shows up, he finds all 3 of his men lying in pools of blood. His face goes pale, and he tries to run, but the warehouse door slams shut behind him, crushing one of his guys on the spot. Note to self: install better emergency exits when running a shady warehouse. Panicking, the remaining 2 pull out their guns and start firing wildly, but suddenly, a flying axe comes crashing into one of their skulls. Some people bring knives to a gunfight. This guy brings medieval weapons. As the boss freezes in shock, a bullet rips through his hand. The man in the suit steps out, calm and deadly. The thug begs for mercy, but his biggest mistake was accidentally getting the guy's shoes dirty. Fatal error. Those shoes probably cost more than his entire gang's annual budget. So he gets shot in the leg, then the other arm, and then, that same sharp-dressed man from the beginning reappears. Now wearing a white raincoat, holding a screwdriver, he smiles coldly before twisting the tool straight into the thug's head. Who knew Home Depot was a sponsor of vengeance? Elsewhere, in a gritty slum, a brutal underground boxing match is underway. Watching from the upper floor is our main character, Macro. Is basically Rocky Balboa, if Rocky was broke, sad, and lived in a Netflix K-drama. After winning the match, blooded and bruised, he heads to the bathroom to wash his face, collects his payment from the bookie, and rushes home through the pouring rain. At home, he finds his sick mother gasping for air. Sitting silently beside her, eating, his heart heavy, he stares out the window into the rainy night, not knowing where his future is headed. Spoiler: it's headed straight into a drama storm with a 90% chance of betrayal. The next morning, Mac visits an orphanage where he meets Mr. Kim, the manager. Mr. Kim shakes his head at Mac's battered face. He's seen it too many times before. Mac drinks a cup of water and quietly asks about his long-lost father. His mother doesn't have much time left, and only his father can help now. He hands Mr. Kim the money he earned from the fight, probably the most tragic ATM transaction in cinematic history. It turns out Mac was an unwanted child. His Korean father had a fling with his mother during a trip to the Philippines, then vanished, leaving them to fend for themselves. Father of the Year award. Not even nominated. Feeling hopeless, Mac heads to a bar to drown his sorrows and gambles all his money away, because, well, when you're broke, you've got nothing to lose, except, apparently, your last shred of dignity. Just then, a gangster approaches him with an offer to rob a gold shop, promising a big payday. Mac refuses and walks away. That night, he sits in silence, staring out the window. Broke, with a dying mother, and no one to turn to, he remembers the robbery offer. Desperate, he calls the thug back. Yes, the classic "I said no, but actually yes" move, and so, with trembling hands and a cheap gun, he creeps up to the shop. But just as he's fumbling with the lock, a gang of street thugs catches him. Outnumbered and terrified, Mac tries to fight back but quickly loses the upper hand. He pulls out the gun, only to realize it's not loaded, because of course it isn't. This is Mac we're talking about. So he hurls it at the nearest guy and runs like hell, with the gang hot on his heels. Pro tip: if your plan includes throw the gun, maybe rethink the plan. In his escape, Mac is hit by a luxury car. A beautiful woman steps out, and the thugs, seeing her, scatter. Apparently even gangsters respect plot armor in the form of rich pretty ladies. She rushes him to the hospital. The doctors examine him from head to toe, but he doesn't have to pay a cent. The next morning, still groggy, Mac runs into the same woman again. Without saying much, she hands him a thick envelope of cash and a fruit basket. We don't know who she is, but we'd all like to subscribe to her monthly donation box. He starts thinking, maybe his luck isn't so bad after all, but just then, his phone rings. It's Mr. Kim. Your father is looking for you. Come to see me now. You wait your whole life for a dad, and then bam, he shows up during a fruit basket moment. Shocked and confused, Mac rushes over. After 20 years, someone's finally said the words, "Your dad's looking for you." Mr. Kim hands him a phone card and a warning, if anything happens in Korea, call me immediately. A calling card. The ancient relic of long-lost dad summoning rituals, and just like that, Mac's life changes forever. Later that day, a sleek black car pulls up outside Mac's house. A Korean man steps out. And coincidentally, that sharp-dressed killer from the beginning? He's sitting right nearby because why not? Small world. Especially in movie scripts. Inside, Mac and his family look on as the man introduces himself, Lawyer Kang, sent by Mac's father. His dad is seriously ill and wants to see him right away. Before Mac can say anything, the lawyer gives him a plane ticket, saying not to worry, someone will take care of his mother. Just go to Korea, ask your father for help. He's rich, he can afford it. Translation, you've unlocked the Rich Dad DLC. Mac is too stunned to speak. Everything's happening so fast. Yesterday, underground boxer. Today, heir to a Korean chaebol. Life comes at you fast. Meanwhile, in Seoul, the man in the suit, Han, is Mac's older brother. He's the CEO of a major company and currently dealing with a messy inheritance scandal, the kind of scandal that makes even K-drama villains go, dude, chill. When he hears from Lawyer Kang that his long-lost brother is coming, he doesn't flinch. Cool and calculating, and starts bribing media outlets to bury the scandal and orders his assistant to find out who leaked the story. Then, he turns to his bedridden father with a smug smile and says, I found the long-lost little brother. Now we just wait for Dad to wake up. Then, it's party time. Nothing says family reunion like an evil smirk and legal manipulation. Mac boards a plane for the first time in his life, first class, no less, from ramen noodles to champagne in 24 hours. Now that's a glow-up. Marco fiddles with the screen like a kid discovering technology for the first time. The plane's been flying for a while, most passengers are asleep, except him. Wide awake, headphones on, face glued to the screen. Clearly, the in-flight entertainment was more exciting than his entire life back home. Suddenly, a handsome face appears next to him, smooth as silk. This guy starts rambling on about all sorts of things Marco can't understand. He says when you get to Korea, speak English, Koreans love foreigners. But the real kicker? He warns that Koreans hate mixed-race people like Marco. The way he talks is beyond annoying, like they've been friends forever. This guy had the energy of a motivational speaker, if the motivation was to jump out of the plane. Marco frowns, wondering who the hell this guy is. Before he can even respond, then the guy leans in and whispers right into his ear, you came here to die. Trust me. That's one way to say welcome to Korea. Very tourism-friendly. Marco's blood boils, ready to punch him, until he glances at Lawyer Kang sitting nearby. They've just captured the two rats who leaked sensitive info to the press, none other than his trusted secretary and a newspaper editor. The editor tries to talk his way out, whining about misunderstandings, but Han shows him footage of the two sneaking into a karaoke bar, straight into a room with security cameras busted. Neither of them can say a word. Han's expression darkens. This place will be your grave, he says coldly. Bang. The editor drops, but Han's not done. He fires again, one shot for each betrayal. The secretary, now trembling like a leaf, falls to his knees, begging for mercy. Han narrows his eyes. Let's play a little game. Run to those trees. If you can make it before I count to 3, you live. The man doesn't even wait for 2 before sprinting. Boom, dead. Han tells his men to clean up the mess. Meanwhile, back at the airport, the plane has landed. Lawyer Kang makes a phone call to a mysterious woman. A chilling truth is about to surface. After Marco left the Philippines, the foreigner and the maid who helped him both vanished, eliminated. His mother? Missing without a trace. Turns out that handsome stranger wasn't just messing with him. Marco and the group hop into a car, driving through the night. Hours pass. Still no destination in sight. Then out of nowhere, a car speeds up beside them. Inside? That same charming psycho, grinning ear to ear. Before anyone can react, he pulls out a gun and shoots the 2 guys in front. Their car veers off the road and crashes into a ravine. The stranger follows, executing the survivors one by one. Marco wakes up in a daze, surrounded by bodies. He stumbles out, searching for an escape, only to find the killer waiting for him, calm and collected like a model at a fashion shoot, gun in hand, and a twisted smile. Next time, remember to wear your seatbelt, he says coldly. Marco bolts. The guy gives chase. Marco runs like hell down the road, thinking he's safe. But nope, the stranger pulls up beside him in a car, slowly cruising, matching his speed. Marco panics. He runs faster. No matter how far he goes, the car stays close behind. He's exhausted. Reaching a bridge, he makes a desperate leap, and barely avoids being hit by a truck. Just when he thinks he's safe, the killer jumps off the bridge too, landing like Spider-Man. Marco's face goes pale. He runs again. The guy keeps chasing, still grinning, like he's enjoying a twisted game of tag. They enter a tunnel. Marco's gasping for air, running for his life, while the killer follows behind, chuckling like it's all fun and games, and then, salvation. As Marco exits the tunnel, the sky opens up. Rain pours down. Turns out, the killer hates getting wet. He stops, frowns, then casually fixes his hair and walks off like a diva, avoiding a puddle. Meanwhile, the bodies are found. Han gets the news, his brother's missing, everyone else is dead, and someone's demanding $10 million for a hostage. Han just laughs. He's used to this kind of chaos. Back to Marco, alone and lost in a foreign land. He remembers the phone cards and calls the law office. A woman answers. After hearing his story, she simply tells him to wait where he is. She'll come get him. He's about to call Mr. Kim. The nightmare returns. The killer shows up again. Marco doesn't even hesitate. He runs like a madman. The guy jumps into his car and gives chase. They dart into a narrow alley. The killer's car gets stuck. Marco takes his chance and sprints away, but the psycho's not done. He ditches the car and chases on foot. Marco's never been here before. Every turn is unfamiliar. No matter how he runs, the guy is always right behind him. He finally hits a corner, thinking he's shaken him off, but nope. The guy's already up top, aiming his gun down. One more step and I'll shoot your knees out, he warns. In a bold move, Marco charges, punches him in the face, and runs like hell again. Just in time, a car pulls up. He leaps in, slamming the door behind him. The killer watches as they speed off and surprise the woman driving, the same lady who hit him with her car back in the Philippines. Before he can say a word, she looks ahead and says, "Don't ask. You'll know everything soon enough." Meanwhile, Han is driving the opposite way. Their cars pass each other. The lawyer flashes her headlights. Han's jaw drops when he sees who's in the car. That's him, he yells, "Turn around. Don't let them escape." He calls the lawyer, demanding his brother back. But she calmly refuses. They've known each other for years. The chase is on, cars speed through the highway. The lawyer's skills behind the wheel are top tier. A sharp drift throws Han's crew into disarray. Then, guess who joins the pursuit? Yep. Mr. Handsome Killer. He cuts in aggressively, nearly crashing. One of Han's cars spins out and crashes, leaving them behind. The killer keeps tailing them, cocky as ever, until the lawyer takes a hidden side road, disappearing into the forest. She stops the car deep in the woods. Before Marco can even ask, she lays it all out. His father, on the brink of death from heart failure. But this wasn't a family reunion, this was a setup. They didn't bring Marco to give him anything, they brought him to take his heart, and this story is just getting started. The evil stepmother even went as far as hiring a hitman to take Mao out. But the female lawyer, after hearing about it, didn't suspect a thing. Instead, she coldly said, "I'm with the stepmother," then pulled out a gun and aimed it straight at Mao's head. Speech balloon. Just when you thought they were signing a contract, turns out it was a contract killer. But before she could pull the trigger, a car suddenly rammed into the scene from behind, throwing everything into chaos. Mao used the chance to escape. Speech balloon. No action movie is complete without someone getting hit by a car. Furious, the lawyer started shooting wildly at Mao but missed. The handsome guy appeared behind the car, only to get shot at too. While she was reloading, out of nowhere, the guy pointed a gun at her and, boom, sent her packing. Now that Mao had escaped those two, he ran into the main road, trying to get away. But hey, this is a movie, not real life. There's no way he's getting off that easy. Speech balloon. Let's be honest, if he escaped now, what would they put in the trailer? Sure enough, he runs straight into his older brother's convoy. Before he knew it, he was dragged to a luxurious villa where their dying father was lying. Han played the role of the affectionate brother, wrapping his arm around Mao and laughing like they were best buds. He even brought Mao to meet his half-sister, pretty face, but personality as sharp and sour as her mother's. Outside, the handsome guy was sneaking around the mansion. Meanwhile, back in the Philippines, Uncle Kim was at the hospital caring for Mao's sick mom. Back at the villa, Han kept up the family act. They took cheerful photos with their father. Mao? He got slapped twice for not smiling. Speech balloon. Must be a family with very strict acting standards. Then, the henchman held him down and injected him with anesthesia. He was wheeled into surgery for a heart transplant. Han watched from a security camera, smiling, already imagining his future, alive and well. But as the doctors were prepping, Mao suddenly opened his eyes. The lead surgeon freaked out. What kind of anesthesia wears off that fast? A nervous assistant tried to re-inject him, but stumbled and knocked the head doctor out cold. Two thugs came to check, one got his throat slit on the spot. The other didn't even have time to react. Two more burst in, but the doors slammed shut. The doctor inside? A killing machine, he stabbed his way through the guards with precision. That doctor was none other than our handsome assassin. He freed Mao, handed him his clothes. Mao looked at his father, heartbroken, speech balloon. No dad in his right mind would steal his son's heart, literally outside, and got the news and stormed down, soaking wet, with his men. They surrounded the surgery room. Shouting matches began. The assassin took Mao hostage. Turns out he was the one demanding the ransom. Han, ever the cold negotiator, lowballed him, 5 million. Said that's all Mao was worth. The assassin smirked. That's all a human heart's worth these days. The standoff heated up. One side wanted money. The other? Trying to get a bargain. Then suddenly, the half-sister burst in from behind, gun blazing, blowing up the negotiation. Bullets started flying everywhere. The assassin pulled Mao into the surgery room and locked the door. Han screamed for a ceasefire. If his dad got shot, he'd lose his inheritance. After the shootout, the assassin realized he'd been shot, and his pants were ripped. The tough guy suddenly looked kinda cute, speech balloon more dangerous than bullets, pants ripping at the worst possible time. And meanwhile, the dad got hit too, his condition critical. Han kicked down the door in a rage. But the assassin was ready, gun to Mao with one hand, gun to the father with the other. Tension at its peak. He held off the entire gang on his own. Han panicked. Desperate, he started calling everyone he knew for money, friends, family, colleagues. Everyone said no. Finally, someone agreed. The deal went through. Mao was taken away, thinking this was the end. But just as he was led away, the assassin whispered, "You're not dying today." Then walked off, casually thanking them for the $10 million. Speech balloon. A $10 million thank you, and now that's gratitude. But of course, Han wasn't gonna let it slide. He pulled a gun on the assassin. Big mistake. In a flash, the assassin snatched the weapon, spun around, and shot the guy behind him. Now fully armed, he sprayed bullets everywhere, henchmen dropping like flies, blood everywhere, mirrors shattering. He grabbed a shotgun, 2 shots, 2 down. Got hold of scissors, stabbed, slashed, carnage everywhere. Han cowered in a corner, tried to sneak a shot, but the assassin dodged like he was avoiding an X, then hit back, with a desk lamp. Speech balloon. The ultimate action movie weapon, the destiny lamp. Then he wasn't done yet. He hunted down every last thug, stabbed, slashed, no mercy. Han tried one last time, but the assassin shot him right in the gut. Blood everywhere. He crawled to the sofa, bleeding out. The assassin kept finishing off the rest. Han, face soaked in blood, whispered, "You really are a killer." Then he died. As Mao helped the assassin down the hall, the half-sister appeared, gun in hand. The assassin smiled, "No one's fighting you for the inheritance now." But she wasn't worried about that. She wanted Mao dead, afraid he'd come back for revenge someday. Mao couldn't hold back, he slapped her and shouted, "I don't give a damn about your dirty money." But she wasn't done. She turned to the assassin, offered $20 million to kill Mao. He smiled, calm and collected, and dropped a bombshell. "Mao isn't even related to you. I made all that up." Then came the full story. Her family hired a lawyer to find a long-lost sibling. Big mistake, they hired him. He teamed up with Uncle Kim, who let Mao pose as the lost son in exchange for money to rebuild his orphanage. Everything was staged, the car crash, the DNA test. All fake. The assassin? He did it all for the money. Oh, and by the way, he was supposedly dying of cancer. Mao exploded, "You bastard. I nearly died because of you." The assassin calmly replied, "Relax. I'll use some of that $10 million to pay your mom's hospital bills. You're lucky you're not really part of that rich family, otherwise you'd be dead by now. I'm just like you, or a nobody." Speech balloon. This twist makes you want to rewatch everything just to catch the clues. And Mao, still angry, didn't say anything. The two rushed to the airport. Back in the Philippines, Uncle Kim rebuilt the orphanage. Mao, after everything, finally got to save his mom, and that was his biggest win. The assassin visited him one last time, asking if he still wanted to find his real dad. Mao replied, "Even if you paid me, I wouldn't. Too scared." The assassin smiled. This was his goodbye before disappearing forever. He left Mao with money and one final message: "Take care of your mom. Live well." Sounds like a nice ending, right? But wait, there's one last twist. Turns out, the assassin wasn't dying at all. The doctor said, "You're perfectly fine." He just had a cleanliness obsession so bad, he vomited blood whenever he felt dirty. Speech balloon. Guess he wasn't sick, just too clean. Probably washed his hands 10 times a day and thought he had cancer. He was never dying. Just paranoid. Scammed into taking fake meds by some sketchy quack doctors, and that's the end of the movie. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel.